So the UK police are saying they're going to investigate Bob Vylan for criminal conduct, even though in all the articles I read they can't specifically name what law they're supposed to have broken. But anyway, the UK investigating Vylan is actually a spectacular own goal because it exposes just how lost in its own propaganda the Western narrative has become. I mean, think about it. All he said was, which, despite the fact we have to censor everywhere, is actually not a controversial statement, even by Western standards. Vylan's statement is actually totally aligned with the Western values our leaders supposedly stand for, but the propaganda has finally tripped over its own tied shoelaces and has become completely lost. Let me explain. The problem begins with the fact that every single Western leader has purposely chosen to forget, and every Western news source now refuses to report, that the leaders of the IDF are literally wanted war criminals, wanted by Western institutions. They are wanted by the International Criminal Court, a Western-owned court that every Western leader is a historic supporter and signed signatory to, the same court they regularly use to cite their own much vaunted rules-based order, the same court Western leaders use to legitimize their own foreign policies. Do you see the problem yet? So let's run through this carefully, shall we? Bob Vylan is to be charged by Western leaders because they denounced the rogue military force that has been credibly charged by the Western-run UN and ICC for breaking the rules of those same Western-run institutions. Which means, at face value, Bob Vylan is actually on the same side as the Western institutions. His chant condemning the IDF is in line with supposed Western values and is actually reaffirming the calls of those same institutions. Yet, it is the Western leaders who again rely on those institutions for their own legitimacy who are demanding Vylan now face criminal charges. Do you see what a mess you make when you throw away your own principles to support unmasked imperialism? Calls to arrest Bob Vylan are also a declaration that Western leaders do not support their own institutions of international law. Like, the West is so lost in its own propaganda, they can't tell which way is up anymore, or even declare support for their own basic principles. Furthermore, they are demanding we ignore the overwhelming evidence of the countless crimes of the IDF and condemn a group that is standing against them in line with our own principles. Therefore, by the admission of Western leaders, it is now a criminal act to stand on the same side as the UN and the ICC. Think on that for a minute. The entire narrative has fallen apart, and the West has lost total control of the situation, and with it, their own legitimacy to govern. I don't think people fully comprehend the crisis that is playing out here. But, at least the mask is off now, and we know for sure that all the propaganda they've spent decades spinning about rules-based order is and always has been a lie. And the downfall of this entire house of cards and all the propaganda that holds it up is not far away. Anyway, something to think about.